sharing. Thank you so much. So I'm going to give just a very brief introduction. First of all, I put in the chat the link to Lenka's website. So I'm happy to introduce Lenka Dostalova. Sorry for pronouncing your name just Italian
you
style.
said it beautifully. Oh my goodness, that's perfect.
That's great. So Lenka is a certified health coach, and originally from Czech Republic, if I remember well.
Yes,
So nice to
do.
connect with you. We never met in person, but I feel like we know each other. And you want to say just a few things about your approach, your practice?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm holistic life and health coach and oxygen advantage breath instructor. And I just like to call myself another human being, just like everyone else. And I found the beauty of breath, and I started using it I've been using it for about 2 years now, I believe. And it completely changed the way I look at life and how I live and what I do. And so now I like to inspire people to do the same, to basically use your breath, to slow down, to pause, to be present to what's happening around you and inside of you, and just experience something more than what life has to offer, than what you've been living. And so if we can like start with the just the workshop, if everyone's in, then I'm ready.
I think everyone.
Are we still waiting for someone?
No, I was wondering if you'd like to address those questions from the registration form now, or maybe at the end of the session.
Let's do it at the end, because the way that I'll be talking about it, some of the questions will be already answered in that. So I'd rather say everything about the breathing. You guys have better understanding, and then later on we can do the questions. But many of them, as I was reading, they're amazing questions, and they will be answered while I'm talking, actually. But I'm not going to be only talking, we'll be practicing too. So I'm very excited about that.
Thank you.
But I wanted to see if I guys told you that you can change the way you live just by changing the way you breathe, if you would believe me. Like if I told you that our breath can just improve our sleep. It can change the way of how we react, the mood, the digestion, that it can give us more energy, the way that our body heals, the way that our body recovers from anything that we're doing active. Like, would you want to try it? Would you give it a chance? And I hope that yes, or maybe. Oh, I love seeing this. Yes, 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 absolutely. Because it's something, our breath is something that we already have built in, right? It's something that we don't have to go and buy something extra or invest a lot of money in. This is investment in you. And it's really learning how to use the breath, the beautiful tool that we already have. And it's free. You can use it anywhere, anytime, on your own time. And it's just once you learn how to switch, then you'll start seeing the changes and a lot of improvements. So maybe you think, that what's the big deal about breathing, right? That we've been breathing the entire life. And so why do we have to change anything that we're doing? And we think that our breath comes naturally. And a lot of times we take our breath for granted. And once we start looking at it as a tool, actually, that can guide us through our everyday, any situations that can help us with, if we get into a stressful mode, which we are most of the time without even knowing. But we can just use it to slow ourselves down, to calm ourselves, right, and be present, and basically just start using it to for our overall like benefits. And if there is stress, what stress? I know no one is in stress. If there is one thing that I would want you to remember from this workshop, it would be to just stop using your mouth for breathing. Basically, I'll say nicely, just close your mouth and start listening to your breath. And so why I'm saying stop using the mouth, it's functional breathing. It's basically breathing 24/7, nose to nose. So inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose, and we're breathing light, soft, and deep. And now when I say deep, I'm not talking about that we're taking like a deep breath, like we all know, right? Take a deep breath, just inhale so much oxygen you can, and then exhale deeply too. I'm talking about deeply breathing into our core, into our posture, and it's the quality, it's not the quantity that we're taking in. And functional breathing, just want to let you know it's not a technique, it's more of a lifestyle. It's really how you use your breath throughout your day. It's not something where you go in for a few hours or you do once a week. It's basically you start rewiring your breathing, so now you can concentrate on nose breathing. Now we need to know that it's not just switching from mouth to nose, but we'll do a practice where you can get better understanding what light and soft and deep is. I have my notes because I get so excited that then I get off a subject, so I need to keep this in a line. And so when we think of a healthy lifestyle, right, healthy living, we all wanted to just like be smiling all the time and have everything like kind of flowing for us, right, and feeling good and waking up rested and just having the energy throughout the day. And so when we usually think of healthy lifestyle, most of the time we think of what do we eat, how many times we drink water right throughout the day, maybe how many times we exercise. And these are all beautiful things. These are important to our healthy lifestyle. But what's more important is how we breathe throughout our day. Now, if I was going to ask you how many times do you think that we breathe throughout a day, would you have an idea? Put the numbers in, guess. Anyone else can guess how many times do we breathe throughout the day? 20 times per minute. That's a good one. We actually take 18 breaths through a minute. Ooh, 28. Yes, it's a lot. You guys are guessing really good. It's actually 22,000 times. And now imagine that those 22,000 times, we can change how we feel throughout the day. And somehow we are concentrating on how many, like how we eat, right? Which when we eat, we probably eat only 3 times a day. If we drink water, it might be 10 times a day. When we exercise, some of us go every day, some of us go only twice a week or do anything active. So we're putting so much attention to that instead of concentrating how we can change our entire like immunity and the way we feel 22,000 times a day. And there is another wonderful fact. We have 60,000 miles of blood cells in our body. And that's like twice around the world. So can you imagine if you're using your breath and all the oxygen is actually going in all those 60,000 miles of our blood cells, how well and amazing we would feel? Like that, it's just so crazy to me and it's so beautiful. And I hope that like once we're done, you guys will start using this functional breathing for good. And another fun fact is that we have 70,000 thoughts coming through our head every single day. Now, every single day, it's pretty much the same thoughts. And if we start using our breathing to slow us down, it will also lessen the amount of thoughts. And not only that, but it will also change the way you think, because you're going to have more positive thoughts coming in, because you're going to start feeling better. You're going to start sleeping better. You'll have better energy, right? And it's just this beautiful wave that you get on once you start using your breath the way that we're meant to. Now, why am I talking about nose breathing? So why is it important from switching from mouth to nose? Because when you look at your nose, if you would look at X-ray, you'll see that our nose, it's sticking out a little, but then majority of it, it goes actually in, and it's connected with our entire body, where our mouth is only connected with the digestive tract. So now, when we're breathing through our nose, there is a beautiful gas, nitric oxide, that actually helps open up our airways. It actually cleans, it works like a bleach, so it doesn't allow anything from the outside, any germs, any pathogens, any viruses, anything from the outside coming into our body. And that's when like the immunity gets better too, right? We're not gonna get sick so often. And another beautiful thing too about nitric oxide is that it's neurotransmitter, so which means that it helps your brain function, and you have more clarity, and you can just be more sharp. So there is a lot of wonderful benefits to nose breathing. And when we breathe through our mouth, then it's actually usually we're breathing shallow, right? We're breathing to our upper part of our body, and we get into a stressful mode much quicker. And when we're breathing through our nose, we're using actually the bottom of our lungs. And there's a beautiful thing that happens that when we breathe into our core, there is this, probably stand up, but you can guys try it at home. Like right here, there's a beautiful like umbrella kind of shape. And when we're breathing in and out, it actually closes and then it opens. And it closes and it opens. And so what it allows, it's actually working and massaging this part where there is most of our organs in this area. And so our digestion gets better too. So that's another wonderful thing about nose breathing. And you can actually try it at home too. When we breathe through our nose, it keeps our moisture in. And so that means that like I can tell by my skin that I've been living in Colorado for 9 years, and I've always had cracked skin and just dry like fingers. And now they're just smooth, and it's from switching to nose breathing. And it's because the moisture it's being held in our body, where with our mouth, when we are talking, then we're basically just spitting the moisture out. And so what you can do at home, you can have a little mirror, or you can take your phone and just breathe, like put the mirror or the phone under your nose first and just breathe out through your nose. And then do that, the same thing with your mouth. And then see how much air actually, you will see like this moisture. And from your mouth, it's like this big area. And that just shows you how much the moisture comes out when you're breathing through your mouth versus breathing through your nose. So that's a little trick to see how it works and that it's true. And another thing may be useful for you guys to remember, and it's a fun one, that breathing through your mouth, it's just like eating through your nose. It's that beneficial. So that's just a good one to remember. I really want you to try to concentrate and breathing through your nose and just keeping your mouth closed as much as possible throughout the day. And so how do we start breathing through our nose? We want to do it soft, light, and deep, and we'll practice that. And just look at your, like when you inhale, see it as activity, something that we're doing, right? We're inhaling and it gets us into a stressful mode. Now, if we exhale, it's relaxed mode. So we always want to make sure that our inhale is shorter than our exhale. And another thing, when you're concentrating, I want you to concentrate on the nose breathing for another reason. And that is when we breathing through our mouth and when we like forget the word, take a deep breath, right? Because what happens when we do that, when we breathe, like when we take an inhale twice, and it doesn't matter if it's through your mouth or if it's through your nose, and it's just this deep, right? If it's through your mouth or through your nose, what happened right now in those short two inhales, that my saturation got to 100%, which means that my oxygen level, it's like tapped. There is no more room in my body for more oxygen. But because we're so used to the shallow breathing, we feel like we need more air, right, to be able to breathe. And if that was the true, then if people that have asthma, if it was true that, you know, breathing through your mouth, it's healthy and you get more oxygen, that people with asthma would be the healthiest people, right? Because they usually breathe through their mouth, but it's the opposite. So what happens when we actually do take or breathe through our mouth or do any hyperventilating, we stop the oxygen flow in our body. We hyperventilate, and the moment that you guys hear yourself breathing, it just means that you're doing too much and there is no oxygen coming into your body. And so another way to explain it is if you imagine that there's a little train that it's just going through your body and it carries some molecules. The train, it's called hemoglobin, which is a protein that carries the molecules of oxygen. And so if we hyperventilate, then it stops the flow and the molecules continue just traveling on the choo-choo, and the oxygen is not being released. Now, when we slow down, what happens in our body is that there is a production of carbon dioxide, which carbon dioxide is a very important gas. Without carbon dioxide, the oxygen wouldn't be delivered. So when we relax, carbon dioxide can release the molecules of oxygen. It basically unglues it from the hemoglobin, and then the oxygen flows through our body to our entire body. And so when we hyperventilate, then it's just, we stop, right? We stop the flow. And if we continue like this, we continue for 10 more minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe you guys are exercising and going for a whole hour, right? Without even realizing you are in stressful mode the entire time. Because after those two inhales, the saturations, it's on 100%. And all that is happening now after that, you are raising your pressure, right? And it's going up, and that's why high blood pressure happens. And so it's very important to pay attention to your body, your breathing. As soon as you hear yourself breathing, then you know that you're doing too much. And now I had questions like, so how should I, breathe while I'm active? And that's for another time. But what's more important than that is to concentrate on how you breathe 24/7 or those 23 hours in a day. than just what you're doing in that half hour. And that will change. Once you start practicing, then your ego sheds, and then you'll know, like, okay, I don't have to do so much because we're just pushing ourselves. Usually when we're doing something, it's goal-oriented, or we want to be better than we were yesterday, and always just trying to do so much and be so strong. But we really want to be relaxed. We want to introduce that it's okay to take a nap throughout the day, right? It's okay to just not do and do all the time, and slow us down so we can enjoy the life. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to measure how functional your breathing is. And that will tell you like the next steps, what you can do. And it will probably more likely open up your eyes to, okay, now I get it. Now I know why I'm not sleeping well. Why am I always stressing out? Or why is my energy low? Because for example, even people that talk a lot, like if you do conferences and you have to speak the entire day, majority of people using breath in between, right? Just inhales with their mouth. And that's a stressful mode again. So you're inhaling, you're hyperventilating all day long without even knowing. And then you feel exhausted. But that's because you were under stress entire time, not even knowing. So I hope this makes sense, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. But now I would like to just measure your control pulse. Sometimes it's called BOLT score, which is body oxygen level test. And so all I would like you to do is to, hopefully you guys have all phones on you. I hope so, or something that you can measure a seconds with. And all we're gonna do, we're gonna just breathe in, breathe out the way you normally do. There is no like beforehand breathing. It's all just to find out how functional your breathing is. There is no competition. You don't want to get to certain numbers. It's really just for you to see how you're doing and to kind of know what to do to improve your overall being. So you're gonna take an inhale in, exhale out, normal way like you always do. And then after exhale, after you feel like all the air is out, you're gonna pinch your nose. You're gonna get your phone before that. I'm sorry. Before that, you get your phone ready so you have it on where you can measure the seconds. And once you exhale and you feel like all the air is out, you pinch your nose, you close it basically, and you hold your breath. You press the button, you hold your breath. You don't even have to look at the phone. And just as soon as you feel like you need more air, you'll release the fingers and press the button on your phone. And now you'll get a certain number. And we'll repeat this 3 times. And after the 3rd time, what I'd like you to do is to put these 3 numbers together and divided them so we can get just an average. And I would love for you if you could share the numbers too, if you feel like. You don't have to, but I will explain it to you after you guys are done with this control pulse measurement. I will explain what the numbers means. So whenever you're ready, let me know if you have any questions about this. And you're gonna inhale and exhale just the way you normally do. Exhale all the way. Pinch your nose, press the button on your phone, hold your breath, hold it as long as you can. And what I didn't mention before, the inhale, once you're done holding, should be natural. It should not be like, oh, I'm gasping for air, right? I'm gonna fall over. We don't want anything happen to you. It should be just natural inhale again. And then you can give yourself a few seconds, or you can go right in. You'll do again, inhale, exhale, pinch your nose, hold it, hold it till you feel like the first kick that you need air, and then you press it again and you get another number. So we'll do this 3 times, and then you can guys share the number, the average. And just take your time. If you have a question, please ask and take your time. And once you're done, just please let me know in the chat. And again, remember, it's just a number for you. It's not to impress anyone. It's really to find out how you're doing and how functional your breathing is. And the 3 numbers, they will fluctuate, but it should not be that one of your numbers might be 15 and then the next one 21. It usually it's anywhere between 2 to 3. So maybe one will be 15, one will be 17, another one will be 15, and maybe it will go lower, 14. But it's usually the 2 to 3 seconds difference. Beautiful. We have first number. Yay, 16. I love that. Wow. Those are beautiful. Oh my goodness. You guys are some athletes or something. These numbers are super awesome. Wow. Love it. Love it. I bet, Maureen, you were teaching everyone already. Oh, I love this. Beautiful. Oh, I'm glad that it's working. See, Maureen, it's a beautiful example that it does work. And I love seeing when the numbers are changing. And just so this number that we just measured, anyone who got, and I'm assuming everyone is done, but if not, just take your time. Marina is a good coach. I know. She's an amazing human being. And this number, it's anyone who got under 25. That means that you can use some work. That means that your oxygen isn't being delivered where it could be. And now it can tell you that maybe you feeling tired. Maybe you are hearing yourself breathing, that you are breathing with your mouth, right, instead of your nose. Maybe your sleep habits are not so well, that you're not rested in the morning. And so it's just beautiful number to kind of have for yourself. So now you can do this exercise once a week. I'd say it's plentiful. There is no need to do this every day, because it's just, if that number is not moving, that you get yourself into stressful mode, and that's not what we want. So you want to measure this and do this exercise. Best time it's in the morning when you're rested. Hopefully you are. And usually the same hour. If you can do in the morning, that you can do maybe in the evening. But the morning, it's just that when you most relaxed. And now it will fluctuate. We want it to get higher for sure, but it will fluctuate from time to time. And that's just a wonderful way where you can kind of step back and say, okay, how did my day go, right? What did I do today that got me into stressful mode? Did I do too much of physical activity? Was I in situations or maybe somewhere where I wasn't getting along with others, or anything can happen throughout the day. So this is just a beautiful indicator, like, okay, just sit back and see, what can I do to make it better? And all you can do is to just keep practicing, and we're gonna move on to another, it's not really technique, it's just a way to learn about the light and soft and deep breathing. So all I want you to do, just get comfortable. The best way to make sure that you are breathing correctly and into your core, you always want to make sure that when you're sitting, you have your feet on the ground, they're not crossing, and that you have your posture really nice and straight, almost like imagine that you have someone that's holding your head, like there is a string and it's attached, right? And so your head, it's nice and straight. You don't want to be tilted. You don't want to be, tilted backwards or like hinged over, because what's happening, you're lessening there's an air tube, right, that we're breathing through. And if you tilt your head down, then you're lessening the opening. So then the oxygen cannot be delivered correctly. So you want to be nice, have a nice posture, but just wiggle your butt or your shoulders, anything that you need to right now, just to get comfortable. And then some of the breathings can be done while you're laying, but this one, I'd rather you just concentrate on it, although like we want to relax, but just to kind of start noticing the changes and start practicing it. It's better when you stay awake. And it might be relaxing for you right now, and you feel like you're more tired, but the more you do this, it will actually give you energy, because you are allowing your body to slow down, right? Our body cannot get energy if we are always doing something, because we're being active and our body is using up the energy instead of giving it back to us. So we want to make sure that we get like our body some time to rest as well. And that goes, I have another workshop on sleeping, and that's a lot about making sure that you are in the relaxed mode, that what you're doing throughout the day reflects what's happening at night. And so it's really important to slow down, to give yourself the time to just be, and not thinking about what needs to be done next, and that you're not being able to do all the list to do that you have. And it's all okay, because then it will just switch into a different living where you realize that not none, but most of the things that you have on your list to do are not so important, and you just switch your thinking to enjoying the life, being more present, and just smelling the roses and breathing soft and light, and really just enjoying the life for what it is in the moment, instead of living in a past or instead of living in a future. So now if you want to get comfortable, and now if you're on a chair and there's a gap, you can always put a pillow, or if you're on a sofa, or just want to make sure that you have a nice posture. And just, you can close your eyes if you'd like to, and just get in touch with your body and see how you're feeling right now in this moment. And I don't want you to change anything yet. Just concentrate on the way you breathe right now. Relax into your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Relax your belly. And just really stay with your breath. And just start noticing how you're breathing. Is it high up in your shoulders? Or is it down in your belly? Can you feel the air in your, the hair, not air, the hair in your nostrils? Can you feel them moving? Can you hear yourself breathing, perhaps? And there is no judgment on how you're breathing. Just keep noticing the qualities of your breath. And just relax and imagine that you're at your favorite place, something that's relaxing you. Maybe you are in the forest, maybe you are at the beach, maybe you're just listening to birdies singing, maybe you're wrapped up in a warm blanket and it makes you so cozy and comfortable. Just whatever makes you feel relaxed and in the moment. And you might notice that as you're relaxing, that your breathing is relaxing too, that your heart is not beating as fast. And we'll stay like this for another moment. Nice. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. It might be actually challenging for some of you if you haven't done breathing in a while or you haven't sat down and sit still. So just really try to feel into it. And if you are a mouth breather and you're switching to nose, just be gentle to yourself and just really keep noticing when you switch. If it's hard on you, or if it's not that bad. And what I'd like you to do now, what we're doing right now, it's actually called a feather breathing. And that's like the basic of this soft and light and deep breathing. And we are working with the exchange of the gases in our body right now. So what I'd like you to do, if you could take your index finger and just put it under your nose. And just keep breathing and notice the air that is touching your finger. And notice that when you're inhaling, the air is cold. And when you're exhaling, it's nice and warm. And just keep that finger there for a little longer. And really just notice the amount of air that it's touching your finger. And I'm going to ask you to lessen the amount of the air that is touching your finger. Now, I don't want you to be too uncomfortable. So just do it as you feel that it's comfortable for you. And if your finger is hurting or you can't hold it there longer, you can imagine a feather Just imagine there is a feather under your nose, and you want to breathe so light and so gentle that the feather doesn't move. So really soft inhale and soft exhale. And remember your inhale, you want to have shorter than your exhale. And kind of play with it. It's different for everyone. But you want to make sure that you want to feel little air hunger, because what we're doing right now, we're training our body to get used to a higher level of carbon dioxide. So when we do feel like we need to take a deep breath, we actually don't need to, because we're in a relaxed mode. And you might feel like you want to take a deep breath right now, that you are feeling like the air hunger, or maybe you want to yawn. If you can, try not to. If it happens, it's okay. But when you do, just come back to the soft and light breathing. And the little air hunger, it's okay. It's a good sign that you are doing it right. And also, what you'll start noticing, your hands might be getting warmer, maybe your feet, or maybe you'll feel like you have more saliva in your mouth. And these are all beautiful indicators that you are in relaxed mode. We'll breathe for a few more seconds, and then you guys can open your eyes and come back. But this is the beginning of functional breathing. It's not just nose breathing, but it's very soft, it's very gentle, and it allows us to slow down. And we get the oxygen into our body everywhere. Now, if you want to let me know in the chat, were you feeling anything while trying to practice this? A little air hunger, yes, and that is normal. Yes, lightheaded. When lightheaded, that means maybe, Robert, you were trying too hard. Just lessen up, like try to, if maybe you were trying just getting too little of air, if that makes sense, like especially if it's something new, we want to make sure that it's comfortable. You still want to feel the air hunger, but not to the point where you will feel lightheaded. We're all different, so you just want to make it work, especially in the beginning for you. And the more you are doing this, the better your body will be getting. It will be getting used to that. Any warmth in your hands or saliva? More saliva. I missed that previous one. But the air hunger, it's a good sign that you are doing it correctly. because we're so used to just thinking that we need more air, right? But that's not the truth, because so the air hunger I sensed. Okay, it's not showing me the whole messages. Maybe Claudia, can you type?
Yeah, I just put it back in the chat, but Melody is saying the air hungers added a little tension in my shoulders.
There's tension in the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're trying too hard. Just be gentle to yourself. That's all it is. It's just lessen the amount and just customize it to yourself so you don't feel like there's a tension. You still want to make it kind of flowy. The breath, it's just, that's the beauty in it, that it forces us to slow down, to be gentle to ourselves, to not feel like we have to do something all the time, right? That everything is about doing and achieving, but it's okay to just be. That's really what I'm trying to teach, to pause, to slow down. Because without that, we get on the roller coaster of emotions, right? If we don't get rest, then we are in a mood and not the good one. Then everything affects you in a different way. Everything upsets you easier. We don't have energy. We can't do the things that we would want to, but now we're just upset about that, and we're upset at everyone else, thinking that it's their fault, and it's just like goes in a circle. Then you're making decisions about your food in a different way you would if you would feel good, and it's just vicious roller coaster. So with this breathing, it allows you to slow down, and then when you pause, you relax, and you get the oxygen in your body, your immunity starts rising, you start feeling better. You'll be able to, the more you do it, the more you realize that you can actually breathe through your nose, and you practice it throughout the day, then it will become your lifestyle. And it might be strange in the beginning, and it's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Like if you are going upstairs and you hear yourself breathing, that's just a beautiful way, instead of saying, oh my gosh, now I'm like huffing and puffing, right? And I'm not breathing through my nose. No, just pause and take it as, okay, it just means I'm supposed to slow down. I don't have to run up the stairs. I can take my time. And the same with anything. If you're like carrying grocery bags, or you're trying to get them all at once, right? So you don't have to go many times, but just lessen the heaviness on yourself. And I saw that, yes, we are out of time. Oh my goodness, it went by so quickly. But I hope you guys got most out of this, and just remember, keep your mouth closed.
Well, I was just thinking, I wonder if anyone's interested in like level 2, because when you took me hiking, you did the one where you like take 3, and that has really changed some of the breathing when I'm like hiking or outdoors.
Yeah.
I know that's level 2, but if anyone's interested, that one, there's more.
There's so much in this. I want to make sure that everyone understands why is it so important to really slow down and pay attention to the softness, right? So we can soften too. And yes, when we active, it's a whole different thing. And I do have a mini course that is pretty cool, where we practice this breathing and into a core, and so people can get more familiar with it. And so you can start like using the entire body, not just what we did today. And that one, it's wonderful too. So
Okay.
yes,
Let's do it then.
yes, let's do it. And let's drink some green smoothie too. You guys will receive, right, the recipe, so
Yeah,
you can enjoy.
you sent the recipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you take the class in person, Lenka treats you to a green smoothie afterwards, which is literally life-changing. So we have the recipe, and I'll be honest, I've never made it myself because it's kind of complicated, but we're gonna send it out because it's delicious, and it feels like you're taking it, like, to me, when you drink this smoothie, it feels like a gift to yourself. Like, it's so packed full of nutrition, but it's also just such a treat. So we'll send that out. And then I know that we are out of time, but there were some questions and we want to make sure we answered them all so we can connect. I think Claudia put in all the ways to contact Lenka if you have additional questions.
Beautiful, please. Yeah, yeah. I know this is very, like, it's such a big thing that I can talk about for hours. And so I just try to kind of pick the important parts, the most important, right? But you guys should receive too. There is a little exercise that it's different what we've done today, and that's about if you already are in a stressful situation, that you can use that to calm yourself down. And it's pretty much explanatory, but if we do another workshop, then we can include that one in. And it's a mini breath holds, and it really works for if you are when you're going on a flight and you're afraid, or if you have a speech and you just have a fear of talking, anything, if you are in stressful mode and you just or are ready to eat and you want to check in within, like, am I in stressful mode or not, do the exercise and it will just relax you. So it's a good one.
Yeah. Well,
and I just put in the chat, sorry to interrupt, I put in the chat the link to subscribe to our mailing list in case you are not on the mailing list. A way to know about our classes is to sign up, and you're going to get our newsletter and a few other information. We don't really send out a lot of emails, so please feel free to either email me if you have any questions. I'm going to put my email address in the chat, or simply sign up for the mailing list.
thank you
And
for
I
that.
will, yes, I will make sure that I'll answer any questions. So
Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and don't forget to close your mouth.
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.